it's Khristina from Redefine Creative, and I have a little bit of a different video for you today. So I am working with the new March Clique Kits, and this is the kit that's based on the collection from Paige that is brand new called Pick Me Up. And so one of the things that comes in this particular kit is we got a bunch of embroidery thread to do some stitching. And we also have this cut file that was designed for this particular kit. So I wanted to show you really quickly what I did with this because I'm going to use it to create a stitching template for myself. And so I know that all of this detail is too much for me to stitch with, and I want to make a border element. The sketch this month in the Clique Kits Facebook group had like a circular element that goes and runs down the side. And so I kind of use that as my inspiration here, and I know that I want these flowers to run down the side. And so it's really easy to do that. So what I'm going to do is I have brought in my PNG file, and this is directly from Clique Kits. And then I'm going to go ahead and trace my shape. And we'll see if my program here cooperates. It's been funky today. There we go. And I'm going to take my high pass filter off. And then I'm just going to trace. And I'm going to take this one and get rid of it. So this file over here is then what I would use. So this is what I would use if I was going to cut this out. But I know that this is way too much detail for what I want. So, you know what, let me do this. Let me bring you back to the black one because it's a little bit easier to see. Okay, so what I am going to do is I am going to go ahead and erase just the stuff in the middle. So when you click on the eraser, you can change this cut file. I'm going to try and be as perfect as I can. It might not be absolutely perfect here on the screen, guys. Then I'll show you what I ended up with. So I very carefully erase everything in the center. And you can save this as a different file, so you don't have to only have the file now with the center gone, because if you wanted to use that still to create something else or to make a bunch of nesting flowers, that would still be a great option. Okay, so there I have just my outline, and this is the part that I want to use for my stitching. So now I'm going to go ahead and do that whole tracing part again. So you could, if you were doing this, you would skip that first step. But because I wanted to show you the difference, that's why I went ahead and did it both ways. So now I have just my flower, and I can change the size of this to be anything I want it to be. And I can also copy and paste it. So I can make multiple copies of that same flower. And that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. And I'm going to make this kind of border treatment up the side here. And I want these all to kind of be nestled together and to be different sizes. So then let me show you. This one is my final one. So this is what I came up with once I had them all nestled in together the way I wanted them to be. And so now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to, instead of cutting this out like a cut file, I'm going to use one of the sketch pens, or you can use just a regular pen in your silhouette. And I'm going to go ahead and trace this entire thing with the sketch pen. So when I do that, what I get, and I just use pink so that you guys could see it. I usually use gray, but my gray one is out of ink. And so what I have done is I have this entire border treatment then that I created down the side of my page, and now I can just go ahead and use my piercing tool and my mat, and I'm going to punch all my holes for all my stitching around each one of those flowers. Okay, so once I have all of that done, I decided I wanted the little one to be a shaker pocket, and so all I did was cut out the center, and then I'm going to attach a little piece of transparency or acetate, and then I grabbed a piece of fun foam and just cut it into a circle to make that little hole. And then I'm going to fill it up with some sequins from my stash. And so I am using Lisa's Starry Night and Till Me Tomorrow, both of those from Spiegel Mom Scraps, to fill in that little pocket. And then I'm going to take my photo and I'm going to create a little flip pocket to have some journaling that's hidden behind. So I'm just going to use these 3 little scraps of white cardstock. and I'm going to attach them on the back of the frame paper and then on the back of my photo. And then I am going to cover up the back of my photo with that pink kind of ombre paper. So I just have those all cut to this 4x6 size. Except that pink one is a little bit smaller because I am going to put a border across the top of the page because I wanted, this is a Disney layout, so I wanted it to be a little more elegant. And so adding that kind of gold foiling up there added that little bit of elegance. And that's from that washi, paper, the washi strip booklet. So we got one page of that. So then I added a couple little die cuts, and I'm going to use these frames to do my journaling. And so I really like that this allows me to either have a little bit of journaling or a lot of journaling. And it's all going to be kind of hidden behind my photo. So my photo is going to be this little flip cover that comes up and down on my layout. So I can write as much or as little as I want to write in these spaces. And then I can fill in the other spaces with some really fun journaling or some really fun like embellishments and things. So I definitely encourage you to think outside the box when you're using that frame paper because it really does make some excellent journaling spots too. So then I'm going to go back and add this little bow and this little heart, and then I'm going to take a couple of the rub-ons. There's a little flower and then some little hearts, and I'm going to put them in that little top frame. And you just want to make sure if you're using this idea of a flip pocket, the stuff that you have inside the pocket like this, you want to stick with like ephemera or stickers or rub-ons. You don't want to use anything that has a whole lot of height because it's going to make your photo stand up kind of funny on the page. So definitely flat embellishments inside that little pocket. And that's going to be lined up right along that border that I created with my stitching. So I knew that I wanted to use this striped paper to kind of be the full background that's going to show behind that photo. So you get all these really bright colors. And I really feel like that paper especially, and then this alphabet, really scream Disney to me. So they really work for me in terms of this Disney feel. And so I'm just playing with a little border of washi tape here over on the right hand side to kind of close everything in together. And I am going to end up making this a 9x12 layout rather than a 12x12 layout. So you are going to see that it becomes a little bit more rectangular than it is square at this moment in time. And I am going to have a title that just says Disney Magic. And I played around with the idea of having it up sitting on top of my photo all the way up there at the top with that turquoise flower. And decided that instead I wanted it to overlap my photo. So I have the word magic sitting on top of my photo. And then I have Disney kind of nestled in on top of that. And that really works well to have that flip pocket work and be open. And I really like the look of kind of nestling all of that together. So now I'm just adding a few embellishments. So I grabbed a couple of those cork and gold hearts. And then I grabbed that puffy sticker floral. And I'm not doing a whole ton of extra embellishing because between the stitching and the bright title and the washi tape, there's a lot going on already. So I don't need a whole lot of additional embellishment. I am going to add just a few sequins that match the ones that are in my little shaker pocket. And that's going to kind of tie everything together with that little detail across the page. And that's basically going to do it. So I have my journaling hidden away behind my photo. And then I also have all of that neat stitching with the little teeny tiny shaker pocket because in true Disney spirit, you need a little bit of those magic touches throughout the layout. And so that's going to do it for this one. I will see you guys again soon. Bye!